So something really weird happened in the U.S. housing market right at the end of last year. Just when you'd expect things to quiet down, the market hit a sudden, unexpected deep freeze. Today, we're going to break down exactly what happened, and more importantly, why.
Okay, let's just get right to it. Here is the number that sent a shiver down the spine of the entire industry. Negative 9.3%. Wow, that's the month-over-month drop in pending home sales for December. A number that big, that fast, really makes you stop and ask, what on earth is going on?
So why did the market just slam on the brakes like that? This is more than just a statistic, right? It's a story. It tells us a lot about what buyers and sellers are thinking and feeling at a really critical time. So let's unpack this whole thing.
Now, just so we're all on the same page here, what exactly is a pending home sale? It's pretty simple. It means a contract has been signed, but the deal isn't officially closed yet. The keys haven't changed hands. And this metric is absolutely crucial because it's like our crystal ball for the market, telling us what actual closed sales will look like in the next month or two.
And listen, this wasn't just a localized problem in, say, California or Florida. No way. This winter chill was felt everywhere. Pending sales were down across the board in the Northeast, the Midwest, the South, and the West. It was a truly nationwide freeze.
Okay, so we've established what happened. Now for the really big question. Why? What were the forces at play that caused this sudden market freeze? Let's dig in.
Well, when you talk to the experts, they're really pointing to three main culprits. First, and this is the big one, affordability is still a huge issue for a ton of people. Second, there's just this general cloud of uncertainty hanging over the economy and the job market. And third, and this part is fascinating, there was a real shortage of new homes hitting the market.
And this is where things get kind of paradoxical. As Hannah Jones from Realtor.com points out, mortgage rates were actually dropping in December. That should have been fantastic news, right? But it wasn't enough. That little bit of good news got totally overshadowed by the fact that when buyers looked around, they just didn't see enough fresh, new houses to get them excited to jump in.
And you can really see that story play out in these numbers. On the one hand, the total number of homes for sale, what we call active inventory, was actually up more than 12% from the year before. But, and this is the key, look at the other side. The number of newly listed homes was actually down. So you had more houses just kind of sitting on the market, but not that fresh wave of new options that really gets buyers motivated.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Even with mortgage rates getting a little bit better, that deep-seated anxiety about personal finances, about job security, that was the more powerful force here. It was enough to keep a lot of would-be buyers on the sidelines, just not feeling confident enough to make that huge leap.
So this brings us to the big debate happening right now among economists. Was this December drop just a one-time weird thing, a temporary blip, or is it a sign of a deeper, more lasting chill in the market?
You've basically got two schools of thought on this. On one side, you have the temporary blip theory. December is always a weird month for data. With holidays and bad weather, maybe we shouldn't read too much into it. But then there's the longer-term trend theory, which says, hey, maybe this is the new normal, housing market that's just stuck in a lower gear. So in one corner, you've got NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun. He's basically urging caution, saying, hey, let's not overreact here. He's making the point that winter data can be tricky, and we really need to wait and see what the next few months look like before we declare this a real trend.
But then, in the other corner, you've got Hannah Jones again. She sees this less as a blip and more as a confirmation of what she's already been seeing. In her view, the market is simply operating at a slower pace. Both buyers and sellers are hesitant, and the whole system is kind of stuck in low gear.
Okay, so you've got the experts disagreeing. What in the world does this all mean for you? Let's talk about how to navigate this market standoff, whether you're thinking about buying or selling.
Right now, the market dynamic is pretty much a stalemate. You've got a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers just sitting on the sidelines, waiting, hoping things will get a little more favorable for them in the next few months. It is the classic wait-and-see game.
So if you're a buyer out there, what's your play? It might feel like a tough time, but believe it or not, this kind of market can actually have some hidden advantages. For starters, with fewer buyers out there pounding the pavement, there's less competition. That can mean you have more time and more options to choose from. And here's the big one. According to economists like Lisa Sturtevant, sellers who need to sell might be way more willing to negotiate on the price, or maybe even help you out with closing costs. That's a real opportunity.
Okay, let's flip the coin. What if you're thinking about putting your house on the market? In this kind of wait-and-see environment, your strategy needs to be absolutely laser-focused.
Look, the number one most important thing you can possibly do is price your home correctly right from the get-go. With buyers feeling so anxious about their finances, an attractive price is the best and maybe the only way to cut through that hesitation and get them to make an offer. Overpricing your home right now, it's just a recipe for having it sit on the market for a very, very long time.
So we have buyers waiting, sellers waiting, this whole market in a standoff, and it all leads to one thing. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is now looking ahead to the spring.
Yep, the spring buying season. It's always a big deal in real estate, but this year, it's carrying so much more weight. It's really going to be the moment of truth. It's the test that will tell us if that December freeze was just a weird blip or the start of a whole new, slower reality for housing.
And so that leaves us with the million-dollar question hanging over everything, doesn't it? Will the spring market finally bring the thaw that both buyers and sellers are so desperately waiting for? Or are we all just settling in for a much longer period of this cool, cautious market? We're all waiting to see.